Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Beans. I hope everyone is doing beautiful and amazing. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about how can we create change. Change is so important because in order to learn, in order to grow, you have to change. You have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to try something new. And sometimes change can be hard, because you have to allow yourself to be open to new things. You have to be like, okay, number one, you have to want to change. Number two, you have to let new experiences come in. And sometimes you have to let go of the old things. And sometimes that letting go part can be one of the hardest things that we experience when we're going through change, because we're so used to things, we're so used to the comfortability and the familiarity of the things that we've been going through. So it's important to just be like, okay, change is good, Some of the best things happen through new experiences, new opportunities. So being aware of that is super important. And also when trying to change something, it's important to reevaluate your beliefs, because sometimes our beliefs, they're holding us back, And it's important that when you're doing this reevaluation is you have to evaluate, okay, which beliefs came from me, and then which beliefs came from other people telling me things, Like sometimes people will say you can't do that because you don't have enough experience or you're not smart enough. That's not a thought that came from you. That's something that came from someone else, So figuring out which one of those is actually you is important. And then figuring out if it's actually true, Those things aren't true. You can always learn, you can always grow, you can always teach yourself how to do something, And some beliefs that were correct at one point in time are no longer correct. Sometimes you can't do something or you won't do something because it's just not right for the time. But times change, people change. So figuring out if those beliefs still fit for who you are today and if they're still true is super important. What's also super important about change is change doesn't happen overnight. Change is about the small little things that you do every day, and eventually those little things add up, and over time you see things are completely different, So when looking for change, number one, also, you have to figure out, what do you have control over? What can you do? And if you realize you don't have control over much and you can only do like the small things, that's okay, because those small things add up. If you're looking to start becoming more fit, but you don't have enough money and you can really only go for walks, those walks start to add up. If you start going for a walk 20 minutes every day, that starts to add up. And if you aren't able to do much, you can still do something, which is incredibly important. Don't let possible limitations hold you back, because like I said, those small things do make a difference. And also when creating change, it's important to come up with a plan, but that plan has to be realistic. And it also has to be reasonable. You can't have this crazy plan to be a completely different person in a month's time, because that's just not fathomable. That's not going to happen, Change takes time. So start off with small little goals that you can achieve in a few weeks, and complete those. And not only will you achieving those small little goals make you feel like you're actually doing something, but eventually you'll start to see those add up, So it's just important to do that, and make sure that when you're doing change, you don't start comparing yourself, or you don't try and compete with other people, because that automatically will leave you in this place where you don't feel enough, where you feel like you're not doing what you should be doing. Because there's always going to be someone better and there's always going to be someone worse. The only person that you should ever really be comparing yourself to is yourself, Like, am I doing better than me yesterday, And that's the only person that you should be comparing yourself to. If you're doing your best, and if you're trying, and if you're putting in the effort, then that's all that matters, honestly. And don't let other people try to tell you how to live your life. Number one, because what works for someone else may not work for you. Not everyone experiences joy, happiness in the same way. So trying to do what their version of what life looks like may not be fulfilling for you. It may not bring you any source of happiness or fulfillment, and you don't want that. So follow your own goals, follow your own expectations. At the end of the day, don't let anyone else tell you how to live your life, because that's just going to lead you down a road of misery. So that's what I have for you.